I live in a dry environment. The humidity in my home averages anywhere from 11 to 22% depending on the season. Most of the time, I have waken up with dry eyes, dry stuffy nose, and a dry mouth. Every time I showered, my nose would immediately open up and I could breathe and smell again. So to prevent me being uncomfortable at night and in the morning and to keep me from drying up like a prune in the near future, I knew it would be a good idea to invest in a humidifier. This is my first humidifier, so I'm excited to show you how it comes new, what it comes with, and also how to set it up and clean it. I pronounce it Levoit. It could be Levoit, I don't know, but yeah, none of their company videos show how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna call it a Levoit Dual 150 humidifier. The humidifier is a Levoit Dual 150 and it has a 0.79 gallon tank capacity. It comes with a little brush cleaner and a manual that pretty much says not to do dumb stuff and that it can take essential oils, which I'm pretty excited about because I moved my oil diffuser out of my room, so now I get some fragrance back. It was super easy to set up. I basically just got some clean water, which I will not tell you where I got the water from for warranty purposes, and I just poured it in the tank, which is top filled, which is something I recently learned is a privilege because as I was shopping for humidifiers, a lot of people in the reviews were complaining about how cumbersome their process for refilling their tanks were. A lot of them complained that they had to unscrew stuff and refill from the bottom, and some even mentioned they had leaks. So to see this was a simple 1, 2, 3 lift at the top and pour was a seller for me. The manual advises to clean the tank every 3 days and don't let water sit in there for more than 3 days because you know, bacteria will spawn and give you diseases. But other than that, I got a little fragrance oil, put a couple of drops in and enjoyed my first night of a comfortable open nose with eyes that weren't dry, and I can finally take my first swallow of the day without feeling like I had cotton in my throat. I also like the little light it has inside. It's just bright enough to see where the water line is and also to use as a night light that isn't too bright that it hurts your eyes in the dark. I did wake up mid-sleep to go pee and I noticed the humidifier wasn't blowing anymore, even though it had a lot of water left, but I turned it off and on again and it started blowing again. When I woke up in the morning, it was still blowing, however, as I expected. So I'm not sure what happened on the first night, but I am aware that this humidifier should automatically turn off when it senses that the tank is out of water. The next day, I refilled the water tank to the max line around 9 p.m. and the tank ran out around 2 p.m. So the tank lasted me about 16 hours at the max setting. The most important thing is that it did make a noticeable difference in the humidity of the room, at least in the area where I put it on my nightstand next to where I sleep. I have science to prove it. If you look on the humidistat, the LL means the humidity was under 11%, which is the limit for this particular humidistat sensor, which is pretty dry. Research says the ballpark humidity level should be around 45 or 40 to 60% for a comfortable home. So after using this for only about a little while, the humidity increased incrementally on the humidistat to a stable 43%. The humidifier is great for a bedroom nightstand. However, when I put the humidistat on my dresser, the humidity level dropped down to about 30 or 33%. So if you need to raise the humidity levels in a large space or your entire home, this probably won't be your first choice. Although this Levoit Dual 150 seems like their most affordable entry-level humidifier, and I do like the design, especially the faux wood grain. I would appreciate if it had a built-in humidistat like their other humidifiers. So I had this humidifier for about 5 days now, and it was time for me to do my first routine cleaning so that I don't unalive myself with airborne toxins. So I will show you how simple the process is. Okay, so the cleaning process is very simple. Just turn that filter counterclockwise and take it out. Don't mind my forks. I am a classy man. I like to use utensils. So anyways, this is the water leveler. Take that out of the base. And, you know, rinse down the crumbs you have in your sink. Then you're gonna take your sponge and a little bit of soap and just go in the base like you would regularly wash dishes. Make sure you get around the stem, the bottom. Take that noise deadener off the bottom while you're scrubbing. Take a pass on the base. I'll tell you what I don't like about the base in a few, but yeah. So those are the main parts, really. And get a little bowl or Tupperware and go and get your vinegar. We're going to make a nice vinegar bath for these components that may have bacteria, mold, or residue. Now take that filter that has a bunch of essential oils on it. That's why it's brown. And you're going to take a little soap and dip it in the vinegar and scrub it. And then you're going to rinse it really well, okay? This filter is not that high tech. It's just there to take out the dirty, minerals and rocks that's in your tap water so that it doesn't mess up the machine. Also, take some vinegar on that brush that was nicely included, and we're gonna get the non-detectable to human eye deposits and dirt and bacteria that's in the nook and crannies that we would least expect, and then go back and wash the lid and make sure you got everything in the tank, and then get everything a good rinse, and we're gonna let everything dry. Then take the brush and we're gonna scrub in the nook and crannies of the components and make sure there's no diseases and buildup and bacteria that may harm us. Give everything a nice rinse, and then we're gonna lay them aside to dry. I don't like to air dry. I like to take paper towels and dry them immediately because I don't know what's floating around. So go ahead and dry everything because we don't want to contaminate what we just cleaned, right? Especially before we get to use it for the next days for it to get recontaminated, okay? So put everything back in its place. Dry the base. Now, here's the part what I don't like about the base. Levoit, why do you have me drag around a permanent cord so I could get electrocuted in the sink and in the soapy water? I wish this cord could come off so I can leave the cord in my bedroom and take the base to the sink to clean. I don't understand why they wanted us to trip and break our chin in a pool of water and then reinsert it into the outlet and electrocute ourselves. But anyways, put everything back in its place, okay? Now look at that filter. Remember it was like a dark brown from sucking up all the essential oil in the tank? Now it's a light yellow and you can barely tell there's water in there. Look how crystal clear that water is, okay? Now we are ready to enjoy. You can put the essential oil if you don't like that filter getting brown. You can put it in the base as well before you put the water in. And then now we can enjoy a nice blast of moisture and hydration to our skin, eyes, and respiratory. Overall, this was a much needed purchase for me, especially because I live in an environment that's comparable to Mars. So please subscribe, like this video, and comment if you're looking for a humidifier or have the same one. Until next time.